Good day. In this video, I am going to show to you on how to configure a Mikrotik hex with a dual ISP with two LAN. So basically what it does is ISP1 will be utilizing interface 1 and will configure static IP on that. And then the traffic from ISP1 will be directed to LAN 1, which is situated in our interface 3 with a network address of 172.16.17.0/26. And also we're going to configure the secondary ISP static IP address also. And then the LAN 2 will be utilizing interfaces 4 and 5 with a network of 172.16.18.0/24. So basically in this setup, the two ISPs will be used at the same time. LAN 1 again will traffic if host from LAN 1 will go to the internet, it will utilize the interfaces from ISP 1. So with the LAN 2, the traffic goes to ISP 2 when a host from LAN 2 will go to the internet. Okay, to start with, let's go to step number 1. Let's launch Winbox application to connect to our router. Winbox. Okay, and then refresh. And there we go. We got our router discovered on Winbox. It's a RB750GR3 Mikrotik hex. Okay, click the MAC address and connect. We are now in the Mikrotik dashboard, and let's proceed to step number 2. Step number 2 is we're going to rename that interfaces. Interface 1, 2 for LAN 1 and LAN 2 interfaces. Let's go back to Winbox and then go to interfaces, interface tab, and Ether 1, this will be our ISP1. So rename that one as Ether 1 ISP1 ELDT. Hit apply and okay. Ether 2, our secondary ISP. Rename this one to ISP2 rise. Apply and okay. Now our Ether 3 is the LAN 1. So let's have it LAN 1, Ether 3 LAN 1 interface. Then Ether 4 and 5 is LAN 2. Let's have 5 that. LAN 2. LAN, okay. Alright, we are done renaming the interfaces. So let's proceed to another step. Um, so we're going to have step number 3. In step number 3, we're going to create a bridge to group the interfaces 4 and 5 for the LAN 2. So let's go to Winbox and execute that. Go to bridge and then bridge. Add bridge. Let's have this bridge 2. Then apply. Then okay. Go to our guide. Step number 4, we're going to add ETH4 and ETH5 to bridge 2. Let's go to ports tab in bridge and then general. Then select the interface and toggle the bridge 2 and apply OK for interfaces 4 and 5. Okay, let's go to ports. Then add. Let's select Ether 4 LAN 2, bridge 2, apply. Okay. Add again for Ether 5. Ether 5 LAN 2, bridge, apply. Okay. So that's it. Our interfaces 4 and 5 is now added to bridge 2, which is our LAN 2 interface. Alright. Proceeding now to step number 5. And now here we're going to assign a static IP addresses on our ISP1, ISP2, LAN 1, and LAN 2. So basing on the diagram here, let's follow the static assignments. Okay, let's go to our inbox and then go to IP and then addresses. Then add address here. The address of our primary ISP, let's refer to the diagram. 115.146.218.31. So let's copy that. 115.146. This is slash 26. And make sure to select the interface 1 and hit apply and okay. And then let's add IP address for our secondary ISP. It's 103.83.227.156. So 103.227.83.227.156 slash 26 for that. And select the interface 2, then apply, okay. Now let's go and assign an IP address for our LAN 1. So our LAN 1 is 172.16.17.0. So 172.16.17.1/26. Is this slash 26? Yeah, slash 26 for that. And then select Ether 3 LAN 1. Hit apply and then okay. And then let's add for LAN 2. 172.16.18.1/24. So let's check the diagram. It's 117.16.18.0/24, the network for LAN 2 bridge. Okay, so let's assign this on the interface bridge 2 since interfaces 4 and 5 is a member of bridge 2. Alright, and then apply and okay. So we're good with setting up the IP addresses for the ISP1 and ISP2, and then our LAN 1 and LAN 2. This is our bridge number 2. So to proceed, let's have another step on that. Now let's go into have step number 5. Let's create a DHCP server for LAN 1 and LAN 2. So to do that, let's go to IP addresses and DHCP and set up DHCP for the two LANs. Okay, so let's have IP, then addresses. I'm sorry, IP DHCP server. Then let's have the DHCP tab and DHCP setup. Now let's create a DHCP server for LAN 1 S3. So select the interface and then click next. Automatically populated the IP address space. Okay, hit next. This is a gateway, and this is the pole range. Start is 172.16.17.2 and ends up to 17.62. That's okay. Click next. Let's add here the DNS for our ISP1. The DNS for ISP1 is this one, 58.71.1.38. So let's type in here 58.71.1.38. Yeah, so let's add public DNS of Google in here. 8.8.8. Click next. Let's have the default lease time to 10 minutes. That's okay. Next. And now we are done setting up the LAN 1 DHCP. So we're going to proceed now setting up the LAN 2 DHCP server. So select DHCP setup again and then select the bridge 2 interface. Click next. Next. And then next. So this is the pole range 18.2 to 18.254 since it is slash 24 network. Click next. Let's input in here the DNS of our ISP2 RISE. It's 43.226.6.69 that. So 43.226.6.69. 226.6.69. Let's have the secondary DNS for public Google DNS. Okay, next, and then list time 10 minutes. That's okay. Next, we are done creating the two DHCP servers for LAN 1 and LAN 2. Now proceeding now to another step. I think we are on step number 6. Step numbers. This should be step number 6. Let's go into create now a firewall mangle rule. That is, it's a chain. It's pre-routing and then specifying the network addresses of the two LANs, and then let's have the action marking the routing for ISP1 on LAN 1 and then ISP2 for LAN 2. Okay, so to do that, let's go to Winbox and then let's click in IP and then it's a firewall. And let's go to mangle rule, and then general. Chain is pre-routing. In here, we're going to specify the network address for LAN 1, 172.16.17.0/26. Let's check and the IP address of our LAN 1. Yes, 172.16.17.0/26. And then let's go to action tab. Action is mark routing. And then let's mark this routing as uh, ISP1 underscore PLDT. And let's leave this one pass through. Apply and okay. And let's create for another mangle rule for the RSP2 general. It's still pre-routing the chain. And then this is the network for LAN 2, 172.16.18.0/24. Then let's go to action. Then mark routing for the action. And then let's have a marking route of ISP2 underscore rise. It's better to have this as labeled a comment also. So we have a guide on the mark on the mangle rule. So ISP2 now. Hit OK and then apply and then OK. Let me go back to uh, the first mangle rule for ISP1. Let's have it commented also for uniformity purposes. Apply and then OK. So now we're done creating the mangle rule, which is a mark routing action on the going to the two ISPs. And its source address is the two LANs, LAN 1 for ISP1 and LAN 2 for ISP2. Alright, so proceeding now to another step. Okay, we're now in step number 7. This is number 7. We're going to create static routes now. So to create static routes, is just go to IP and then routes. And then we're going to add route, going to 00, default route. And then let's input in here the gateway of primary ISP. And then using the mark connection ISP1. And then for another route, going to the internet 00 with the gateway of the secondary ISP using the mark connection of the secondary ISP created in the mangle rule. So let's do that. Let's go to IP, then routes, and then create route 00. Let's leave it there. This is the gateway for the primary ISP. Let's have the guide pulled up. Gateway is 115.146.18.1. Okay. 115.146.18.1. And then let's have routing mark. Let's select the ISP1 PLDT mark connection. And then hit apply. This should be reachable. I'm just going to plug first my ISP cables. First, I'm going to unplug first the laptop because it is being inserted to interface 1. I'm just going to transfer it to interface 3, our LAN 1. This is the primary interface, that's PLDT, and then going to plug now the secondary cable coming from our secondary ISP, which is RISE. Mhm. As you can see, we are all set up. Cables are being plugged in, primary, PLDT, secondary RISE, and then LAN 1. And then these two interfaces is LAN 2, or the bridge 2. Okay? So, I'm just going to recreate back the route. Primary ISP. So have that 115.146.218.1, and then mark connection. Let's use the connection mark of ISP1 created from the mangle rule and hit apply. This should be reachable now. Alright, it's reachable as you can see. And okay, let's create another rule for another route for ISP2. So this is the gateway going to ISP2. Gateway is 103.127.129. 103.227.129, and then let's select the ISP2 routing mark, this one, and hit apply. And okay, this should be reachable. All right, so as you can see, we have created the two routes, or using the routing mark we created in firewall mangle rule for ISP1 and 2. Okay, so proceeding now to another step. Let's go going to create a NAT rule. To do that, let's go to IP and then firewall and then NAT tab, and then general. The chain is source NAT and the action is masquerade. Okay, this is the last step, I guess. So do that. Let's close it in. IP firewall. Let's go to NAT and then add source. I mean chain is source NAT, and then action is masquerade. Hit apply. Okay. Now we're good to go. It's going to reboot the router. Then after that, we're going to check the internet connectivity of the two LANs. So rebooting the router now. System, and then reboot. Hit yes, and then let's wait for a while for the router to reboot. We're going to reconnect by then. Now, as you can see, we are being disconnected on the Winbox session. Now, as you can see, our router is being populated. We are connected on LAN 1. We got the IP address of the router 172.16.17.1, which is the one being configured LAN 1. This one. So let's reconnect back to the router. Let's check first our IP address obtained on the laptop. IP config. Yeah, we have 172.16.17.2 because we are connected on LAN 1. And then it's ping in here Google. Yes, we have a ping on Google. Let's try browsing the internet. Uh-huh. Speed test. This should be PLDT because we are connected on LAN 1. LAN 1 is utilizing PLDT ISP. As you can see, it's PLDT. Let's run speed test on that. Okay, and let's check in the interface. It should be PLDT having that high bandwidth utilization. As you can see, we have PLDT on the upload and download, the highest bandwidth, since this is the one being utilized on LAN 1. So that works for LAN 1. Let's check now on our LAN 2. I'm going to unplug my laptop from interface 3. I'm going to plug in interface 4. That is our LAN 2, 4 and 5. That is bridge 2. Logging now. As you can see, we're being disconnected. Let's just wait in a while. Yeah, the router's been detected on Winbox. Let's reconnect. Let's try checking in our IP address in there. ipconfig /all. As you can see, we have obtained an IP of 172.16.18.1, which is our LAN 2 as being configured a while ago. So our LAN 2 works. Let's ping the internet. Okay, the reason why we haven't obtained internet connection in LAN 2 is that, as checked we have issue inputting the IP address on the mangle rule. As you can see in here, the source address is 172.168.18.0. This is supposed to be 172.68. So we're going to edit this one. Our ISP2 firewall mangle rule. Let's go to general, and then yeah, the change is pre-routing, and the source address is our LAN 2 172.16. So let's omit 8 172.16.18.0. Let's hit apply, and then okay, and then so as you can see, we have packets, in and out packets in ISP2. Let's run back IP config / all, and then let's ping Google in here. Let's have persistent -t in that. Now as you can see, we have ping now. So that's the issue in there. Let's run speed test. It should be ISP2 Rise. Yeah, as you can see, we're connected to Rise now. And let's check in the interfaces on our router. It should be ISP2 having that bandwidth load and download is concentrated. Yeah, so that's it. That's the configuration for 2.1 and 2 LAN. So to review, we have assigned the network 1. So whenever the host will go to the internet, access the internet, it will use only the ISP1 bandwidth. And then LAN 2 will also use the ISP2 bandwidth. So thank you very much for getting this far again. And we're going to release another videos for Mikrotik configs. Thank you. Bye bye.